Lagos Talks 91.3. News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has charged the Nigeria Police Force, the NPF, to remain politically neutral and ensure the country delivers a successful election next year. He made the call in Owerri, the Imo State capital, on Monday while declaring open the three-day conference and retreat for senior police officers. Buhari said his administration will continue to support the police, citing several reforms introduced by his government to better the force. As far as he is concerned, the initiatives are already yielding results, as he cited the performances of the police in recent off-season elections, which he expects to be replicated next year. President Buhari has left Nigeria for London, the United Kingdom, for routine medical checkup. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, in a statement yesterday, said Buhari will return to the country in the second week of November 2022. It will be recalled that Buhari was in the United Kingdom in March and in July this year for the same medical purpose. Nigeria's National Security Advisor, the NSA, General Babagana Monguno, retired, has said the terrorist attack advisory issued by United States government created unnecessary fear and apprehension amongst Nigerians, urging Nigerians and other residents to go about their businesses without any sense of apprehension. Major General Monguno, retired, disclosed this at an emergency National Security Council meeting convened by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. He also said the armed forces, security and intelligence agencies are not resting on their laurels to ensure that all Nigerians and every part of the country remains safe.
The alert was targeted at the citizens of the United States residing in Nigeria in Abuja, not at the larger Nigerian society. Now, if that thing has cascaded to give a different impression, coloration, there's nothing anybody can do. The damage, whether it is intended or unintended, the damage has been done. People's minds have been, attuned to a state of insecurity, which is quite bad. There's nothing we can do if the U.S. Embassy has gone out to give an advisory to its citizens and it has also affected other people.
Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabor, who also spoke alongside Director General of the National Intelligence Agency Ahmed Rufai, and other ministers and security chiefs, urged Nigerians to go about their daily activities without fear.
Security Advisor to use the opportunity to assure Nigerians that the armed forces, the police and other security agencies are working around the clock to ensure that lives and properties of Nigerians are protected. And so far, there's no cause for alarm, and Nigerians should go about their normal duties as the armed forces and all the security agencies are well poised to protect them accordingly.
Our correspondent, Raliat Adinekon, reports that the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyama, said that Nigeria will continue to work with foreign partners' missions, stressing that the threat and advisory were mainly issued to the citizens of the countries that originated them. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the NCDC, has issued a public health advisory following the declaration of the Ebola virus disease outbreak in Uganda. The advisory, as contained in a statement on Monday by the NCDC Director General, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, follows report from the Uganda Ministry of Health that as of October 29, 2022, it had reported 128 confirmed cases and 34 deaths. Adetifa said that the agency has been aware of the ongoing outbreak of the Sudan strain of the Ebola virus disease, EVD, in Uganda since it was first officially declared on September 20, 2022, and based on available data and risk assessment conducted, Nigeria is at high risk of importation of the virus. He says this risk is due to the large volume of air travel between Nigeria and Uganda and the mixing of passengers, especially at the regional travel hubs of Nairobi, Addis Ababa and Kigali airports. He, however, assured that several measures have been put in place to prevent and mitigate the impact of a potential Ebola outbreak in Nigeria, as passengers arriving from Uganda and persons who transited there are being followed up for 21 days after they arrived in Nigeria for their health status. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says 37,832 of 60,370 newly printed permanent voter cards (PVCs) for new registrants are still uncollected in Lagos State 6 months after release. INEC's Public Affairs Officer in Lagos, Mrs. Adenike Oriowo, yesterday said that so many old PVCs were still awaiting their owners to collect them at the 20 local government areas offices of INEC in the state. Oriowo, who expressed dissatisfaction with the poor turnout and apathy of many electorates to collection of the PVCs, urged them not to wait until last-minute rush before the 2023 general elections. She said that the statistics as at October 21 showed that INEC in Lagos State had received 6,570,291 PVCs from the Commission's national headquarters prior to the 2019 general elections. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has urged his supporters to disregard his manifesto for the 2023 presidential election in circulation. Obi's comment was against the backdrop of a viral document purported as his manifesto. However, in a tweet on Monday, Obi asked the public to disregard the document in circulation, saying that he will personally release his manifesto at the appropriate time. The former Anambra State governor started his campaigns on Saturday in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital. Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State has placed a ban on the holding of political rallies in public schools in the state with effect from November 1, 2022. Umahi also banned commercial motorcyclists from operating between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. to checkmate insecurity. The governor announced the bans in Abakaliki on Monday at a stakeholders summit on citizens' input and consultations for the 2023 budget estimates. The summit also discussed Nigeria's 2023 pollution and housing censuses. Umahi said political parties must get clearance from the Commissioner for Education to hold rallies in schools, as such situations where facilities in the schools are destroyed in the name of campaign are to be avoided. On the 2023 budget estimate, he said the large chunk would go to education, infrastructure, health and agriculture, among others. Businesses and human activities were partially paralyzed yesterday in Lagos State as commercial bus danfo drivers commenced a 7-day strike action over extortion by security personnel and touts across the state. As a result of the development, commuters were stranded as other transporters, commercial tricyclists known as Keke Marua, and minibuses hiked transport fares by 100%. The protesting drivers had alleged extortion by the men of motor parks and garages management, miscreants and government officials in the state. The Joint Drivers Welfare Association of Nigeria, JD1, had on Sunday declared intention to commence its proposed 7-day strike starting from yesterday, as its meeting with the state government failed to yield any positive result. You're still listening to the World News. Moving on to the foreign scene. New Twitter owner Elon Musk has said that the process of gaining a prestigious blue tick will be revised amid reports the firm could start charging $20 per month to be verified. Musk tweeted the verification process was being revamped days after taking over the social media giant. A blue tick is currently free and a way of signaling an account is authentic. Musk has also dissolved Twitter's board of directors, cementing his control over the company. He is now the sole director of Twitter, according to a filing on Monday with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. More than 24 hours after Brazil's electoral chief declared Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva the winner of the presidential election, the featured incumbent Jair Bolsonaro has yet to concede. Congratulations have poured in from across the world, including from the leaders of Britain, US, China, France, India and Russia. But even though it is traditional for the losing candidate to phone the winner and make a statement acknowledging their defeat, Bolsonaro has so far remained silent. The far-right president is said to have gone to sleep after he narrowly lost to his left-wing arch-rival, with a silence raising concern that he may not accept the result. Combative statements from Bolsonaro in the past, such as that only God could remove him from office, mean there is a tense wait for him to appear in public. In business news this morning, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, yesterday urged Nigerians to support the currency redesign project, which is in their overall interest and that of the economy at large. The central bank further insisted that it followed the law and due process to carry out the redesigning exercise, which is 12 years due. This is coming as a former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, has commended the Apex Bank on the proposed redesigning of the Naira, saying the measure will address insecurity in the country. The Apex Bank's clarification came against the backdrop of claims by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, that her ministry was not carried along in the proposed redesigning of the Naira. And out to sport news, a federal high court in Abuja has fixed February 6 for the mention of a suit filed against the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, and former President Nigeria Football Federation, the NFF, Amaju Pinnick. The matter, which was scheduled for Monday, could not go on, hence counsel to the parties in the suit agreed on the new date. The motion, marked by Harrison Jala, Chief Victor Robson Baribote, Austin Popo, and the National Association of Nigerian Footballers, had sued the NFF, Pinnick, and the Minister as first to third defendants, respectively. In the motion dated and filed on September 2, the claimants sought an interim order restraining the defendants, his agent, employees, staff, officials, or electoral committee from organizing or conducting any election into any executive office of the NFF, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. Holders Mamelodi Sundowns defeated Nigerian side Bayelsa Queens 2-1 in their first game at the 2022 CAF Women's Champions League tie on Monday. The Nigerian team, playing for the first time in the competition, were 2 goals down in the tie courtesy of a brace from Leluna Dewet, although Bayelsa Queens managed to pull a consolatory goal back via a Mary Magdalene Anjo strike. Bayelsa Queens will hope to bounce back from the defeat to Mamelodi Sundowns when they face the out-Congo's TP Mazembe on Thursday.
Lagos Talks 91.3.